Want a man to chase you, obsess over you, deleting all the other women in his phone? I'm going to teach you the 5 irresistible flirting secrets that you can use to just make about any man fall head over heels in love with you. Now, I need to warn you, do not use these moves unless you want him completely obsessed. We don't accept complaints over here on the Jax channel. Jax is calling me 20 times a day. That's your problem now. So let's go into flirting tip number 1. Touch him like it's completely natural. No, I don't mean grab his you know what. I just mean find excuses to make contact. Brush his arm. When you're making a point, let your hand rest on his shoulder. When you're laughing, slightly bump into him. Because here's what many women do not understand about flirting. Guys are starved for physical contact. And when you first break that barrier, you're doing something many people are way too afraid to do. You're setting yourself up for a good time. And if you sit there for 3 hours with 0 physical contact, think about how hard it's going to be for him to actually want to make the leap and go kiss you. That's like asking someone to jump over the Grand Canyon. But if you've been consistently building up that physical connection with innocent touches throughout the date, everything becomes a lot easier to do. Number 2 is the kiss setup. This one is actually genius, and it worked on me specifically. You want to apply some lipstick, some lip gloss in front of him and say something like, I wonder if this actually will stay on. And I gotta tell you, this worked ridiculously well on me because I discovered my then girlfriend and she applied some lipstick in front of me and she says, look, it doesn't stick. And that gave me the perfect opportunity to test that theory. And let me tell you, it worked because we ended up dating for multiple years after that. So I like to call this kiss date. If you guys have watched my other videos, you know that I'm a big fan of something called date bait, where you're not being easy, but you're making it easier to facilitate the action you want. So, and that's just fancy term to say you make it easy for him to do what you exactly want him to do. And you're giving him the green light without asking for a kiss directly. You never want to be on the date and be like, just kiss me, gosh dang it. That's not sexy. That's not fun. It's brilliant because in this scenario, you create the opportunity. It's like you plant the seed and you let him water it. So just like the date bait technique that I've taught you guys in other videos, and if you haven't, go to my texting videos, I teach where you plant the seed, you let him water it, and all the while thinking, oh, I'm such a smooth operator. Yeah, we know the ladies actually lead the relationship. You don't need to tell us. Number 3 is the triangle technique. I never know why they call it. And actually, let me bust out my whiteboard. And if you guys are just listening auditorily, I will try to just speak through it. So the triangle technique, let me draw a beautiful triangle. This is what? That just turned into a oval. We don't want that. Oh my gosh, my whiteboard is absolutely tripping. All right, so essentially all it is we've got your eyes here, or his eyes really in this scenario, lips, eyes. So you want to think about it like a pattern. So first you're going to look at the eyes. So now I'm looking deeply into your eyes. Look at the eyes, then look down at the lips, look back at the eyes. And you want to do this the slower the better. And I know it feels uncomfortable. You can actually look up some videos on YouTube where you can just practice eye contact. Usually this is for teaching guys how to date, but if you feel very uncomfortable, like you feel like your heart is beating out of your chest, you may need to practice with some YouTube videos. So you look at the camera, you look at their eyes, you look down at their lips, and you look back at their eyes. So the way this looks is, you know, I'm not the sexiest person to demonstrate it. Women make it look a lot better, but that is the theory. Look at the eyes, look at the lips, look back at the eyes. And this is a whole energy shift. If you do this right, his heart is going to be like beating out of his chest. He's going to be feeling hot and spicy. And this works by subconsciously programming him to kiss you. Even if you're not consciously saying, oh, do this, his body will respond. He'll lean in closer, his voice will get softer, and suddenly the whole vibe is a lot more fun. All right. And number 4 is creating intimate tension. And it's when he's looking at you with that intense stare, that one that makes your stomach flip and look away and say something like, you can't do that to me. You can't look at me like that. But again, tonality and this all kind of stuff, if you watch my flirting videos, you'll know tonality is super important. Because you can say, you can't look at me like that. That's no fun. And you say, don't look at me like that. You know you can't look at me like that. That phrase, you can't. Oh, it's psychological gold. When you nail that tonality and you're telling him he's doing something forbidden, something naughty, which immediately makes it all the more exciting. And when you look away, you're like, you can't look at me like that. You're making me nervous. That is, So stop it. You're making me nervous. That is gold. Number 5 is to trigger his protector instinct. His instinct to protect you. When he's teasing, again, this is very tonality focused. So when he's teasing you and being playful, drop the confident act for just a second. Say, don't be mean to me. That's funny. It kind of sets up a dynamic that I know many of you ladies do be liking. So this works because you're switching from that strong, flirty, independent woman to that kind of flirty, vulnerable, soft woman in an instant. It shows him, ooh, there's some awesome stuff on the end of this. So it triggers every protector instinct he has. When somebody shows you their vulnerable side, their natural response is to get you closer, pull you in closer for comfort. Like, baby, I would never hurt you like that. Ooh, I love that. And that's the exact response we're going for. Look, these 5 rules, if you can just internalize these moves, you're going to have guys falling head over heels obsessed with you. Because I'll put you on game right now. Most women do not do these types of things. And when they do, and especially when they're stacking all the 5 of those moves, woo, dangerous. I feel bad releasing this to the public. So these are psychological triggers that tap into how men are wired to respond to women. Use them. Watch how men treat you differently. And remember, I do not take any complaints on this channel. If he's beating down your door like, I love you so much, no complaints. So if you guys want more tips like this, more tricks, understanding male psychology, and making guys want to provide everything for you, check out our community. Link here. And remember, you have been warned. Love ya. Ciao.